Everybody here urges you to remain alert as danger has not yet passed.
This as fire crews have gained a foothold on the multiple fronts Tuesday. As of midday, the Hearst fire was at 97% contained, the Eaton at 35%, and the Palisades at 17%. A fourth ignition, the auto fire, started near Ventura Monday night. At last check, it had burned over 50 acres as fire crews worked to contain it.
We have approximately 88,000 residents that are still under evacuation orders.
Two other critical issues, power outages and water access in the Eaton fire area.
The necessary public safety power shutoffs are going to prevent our next fire from starting if we have down power lines. Additionally, we have checked the water system in the Eaton fire area and it is operational.
There was slightly hopeful news today from search and rescue efforts in burn zones.
The good news was that no other remains were found yesterday.
And talks of reopening neighborhoods to residents are moving forward slowly.
Repopulation conversations are absolutely active and ongoing. I don't want people to start thinking everything's okay now. Everything's not okay yet.
It's that yet that firefighters are battling to get closer to today.
Firefighters will continue to work tirelessly throughout the day to increase containment lines, prevent further spread, and address any flare-ups.
In Altadena, I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
I have been totally intrigued and fascinated by the role of inmates in helping to be the heroes we need in these communities for firefighting. There's also been a lot of uproar about the low pay for these firefighters. You get people like Kim Kardashian lobbying the governor to raise the pay. But I wonder, from your experience, how do you see their role and the concerns about them serving in those roles?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on the show, Laura. I watched. Thank you very much. So as far as the pay goes, when I was doing firefighting as an inmate firefighter, I was getting paid about $1. So there is an increase for sure. But as a professional firefighter myself, that's like for civilians in the field or incarcerated folks. It's like in the fire service, you always have to kind of put in your skin in the game, that free time, a little like that volunteer aspect. So like the way me and my peers, when we were incarcerated, the way we looked at it was like, this is our internship and this beats the prison being behind the walls, and we can get this career in the process. And that's exactly what I was able to do. And so if that answers your question.
Yeah, it's very important to think about. And I'd love to know your personal experience. You were once out there fighting fires as an inmate and an incarcerated person. Can you tell us about what that experience was like in that program?
Well, I loved it. I thrived in it because, we it's a great opportunity. It's been around for decades and decades. Even the actor Danny Trejo, who's doing a film on myself, is an executive producer, and it's called Trial by Fire. He was an inmate firefighter himself, and so it's been around forever. And for me, it was like being able to be there for someone on their worst day to arise to that occasion. That's an honor, and that program offered that to us. We're very fortunate. We're unfortunate to have our fires in our state, but we're very fortunate to have the opportunity for that. And so I loved it. Yeah. My first medical call was CPR on a baby. My first fire was a structure bowling alley fire. So like that, those are the kind of things that, it'll build you up fast. So when you come home to do it professionally, you have that experience. You're forced to have that real quick and you excel at it.
Firefighters continuing to battle the deadly Los Angeles wildfires. A week into the efforts, officials warning the fight in danger is far from over.
We're very well prepared for the next event, but that's never going to be, we're never sure that we're going to be able to catch the next fire and keep it small.
The Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires wiping out years of history across LA.
It's 36 years of memories just gone. My mom was hysterical. I can't even put into words how painful it was to see her pain.
Thousands of homes destroyed and dozens of lives lost. Chris Weisner sharing these photos of his friend Randall Mayad, who was killed as the Palisades fire overwhelmed his home.
I can't sleep much. It's heartbreaking. My wife and I are crying all the time.
And with search crews still going through debris, first responders with a sobering message. Angelenos should be prepared for the death toll to keep rising.
It is a very grim task, and we, unfortunately, every day we're doing this, we're running across the remains of individual community members.
Even with such devastation, there are moments of hope as communities come together, donating and doing what they can to help.
You guys live in the City of Angels. We're Angelenos. This is absolutely breathtaking. I never done anything like this in my life. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I hope one day it makes sense. And until then, I'm gonna keep on trying to do what I'm doing.
In Altadena, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
He said, "Mom, if it gets close, I'm not leaving."
The words of two sons determined to fight.
I just had this deep feeling that I knew they were going to be okay.
Inside Kathy Hutter Camacho's home are photos that show a life spent in Los Angeles County. She now lives in Sacramento, but her ex-husband lives right in the path of the Palisades fire. Her two adult sons, Sean and Tim, right by his side.
Okay, turn around.
First responders seriously urged the brothers and their father to leave last Tuesday. But this home in Santa Monica Canyon belonged to their grandmother, now their father. So they made a choice.
My brother's decision was, I'm not leaving. I'm staying. I'm fighting. And my decision is, I'm not leaving my brother's side.
Tim, the oldest of the two, watched as their neighbors evacuated. By Wednesday, the winds kicked up and fire embers rained from the sky.
There's no fire department. There's no other people. It's just us attacking and saving this neighborhood.
For nearly 30 hours, armed with water hoses and handheld radios, the brothers sprayed water on every home and lawn on their block, along with a handful of others who decided to stay.
We came out of there.
The fire getting as close as 5 doors down. When the worst of it ended, Tim says they were able to save 9 homes on their street.
If it wasn't for the few of us that stayed and kept everything wet and attacked the small spot fires as they arose, we would have lost this entire neighborhood the same way that Palisades did. You know, people are telling us like, you guys are heroes, you're saving the neighborhood. And it's like, we're just, you know, doing what we think is right.
Risking their lives to save their family's legacy, but also giving their neighbors a home to come back to when so many in Los Angeles County have lost everything.
They're fixers, they're helpers. They always have been that way. It just shows their character.
California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things.
Mel Gibson on Fox News Primetime after losing his home in the California fires.
And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which, it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? I don't know. Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Conspiracy theories spreading like wildfire.
This is an obvious land grab. They get them out of their homes this way, and then they can build whatever they want to build.
From the common refrain that it's all part of a government plot.
This is siege by design.
To suspected AI-generated video and images falsely showing the fires approaching the iconic Hollywood sign. Fact-checkers working for Meta have been debunking some of the misinformation on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey everyone.
But last week, Mark Zuckerberg announced this.
We're going to get rid of fact-checkers and replace them with community notes.
Replacing fact-checkers with community notes, a form of crowdsourced fact-checking that is used on X. But critics say Zuckerberg shouldn't be trying to emulate X, pointing to viral misinformation on that platform that goes unchecked. Like this post, viewed almost 500,000 times, baselessly claiming DARPA, a wing of the Department of Defense, started the fires.
I'm here with the fire command team at the Palisades fire.
Indeed, X's owner, Elon Musk, has spent the last week elevating conspiracy theories about the fires.
What about water availability?
Responding to a post from disgraced conspiracy theorist Alex Jones that the fires are part of a globalist plot, Musk responded, "True."
More big donations for Los Angeles fire relief efforts. Metallica's foundation has pledged $500,000 to relief and recovery efforts. That follows Beyonce's foundation's pledge to donate $2.5 million to fire relief and the $1 million pledge made previously by Jamie Lee Curtis's Family Foundation. Other celebs are contributing in different ways. Halle Berry says she's donating her entire closet and encouraging others to contribute clothing to those who've lost everything. Kumail Nanjiani is holding a benefit comedy show to raise money for wildfire relief, and Jennifer Garner is working to provide meals for evacuees. Meanwhile, 2 major award shows are going forward amid the wildfires. The Recording Academy, which made a $1 million fire relief donation, says the Grammys will take place as scheduled February 2nd, but will spotlight first responders and include a charitable component. A month later, the Academy Awards are set for March 2nd. Motion Picture Academy leaders say they look forward to honoring frontline workers, recognizing those affected by the fires, and encouraging viewers to support relief efforts. In Hollywood, I'm David Dam.